Hey there, it's Nicole Spohr and welcome back to my channel. This is Handmade Holiday 2020 and today we're going to be making some snow globe feline spinner tags. So this series is all about quick and easy ways you can add a handmade touch to your gift giving. Spinner tags is something that I have done a couple of times in the past. In fact, I will be linking to all of those projects on my blog post that coordinates with this, and they have been one of my most popular gift tag type of projects ever, and this is my project for this year. So a couple of releases ago, I believe, the Feline Like Christmas. I have to say it right because I love the play on words. This stamp set from Simon Says Stamp came out. Has the front and back. It's made for spinners, so really the guesswork is completely taken out of it, which I personally love. And I knew instantly that I wanted to use these to make tags. Now, while most of my projects for Handmade Holiday are more on the easier side, or I try to keep them easy, these are going to be a bit more time consuming. They're not necessarily hard, but with all the coloring and assembly, it is a bit more of a time consuming project. So if you have someone in your friends or family gift list that particularly is a cat lover, we all have lots of those, I think, that we know. I could name so many people off the top of my head, friends-wise. And then my oldest son actually adopted two sweet kitties this last year. And so these are going to obviously go on his packages because I knew he would love and appreciate them and want to keep the tags as something that he could probably use to decorate his own tree in his apartment. He did not get one this year because he was afraid. The one cat, he's an explorer, and he just didn't want him to be climbing up in the tree and hurt himself. But he can use them to decorate or whatever he wants to do with them. I just know him. He will love these tags. They are a complete surprise. So hopefully he doesn't watch this video because he did tell me that he was watching some of my videos the other day, which I thought was funny. Anyway, so I have stamped the front and back of these cats on some Neenah 110-pound weight cardstock using, I think I used the Hero Arts Intensified Black ink. It's an ink that is made for Copic coloring. I am using Copic markers. I've listed the marker colors I'm using across the top of the screen there for easy reference. You can use whatever coloring medium you want. I did not opt for no line coloring as it sometimes takes a little bit more effort, and my goal was to just get the color down, get these cute kitties colored, get them die cut, and assemble the tags. Now, I am kind of going slowly with this first one especially. And then I did make an error when we get to the next kitty with the Christmas lights. Whatever's on the front, you want to be on the back. Probably only those with eagle eyes would ever know. Maybe if you don't color it exactly right, and heck, I may have missed something, who knows. But I really tried for the most part. So like the light that's dangling, I want to make sure that's the same color. I want to make sure that I color the parts of the kitty that are light on the back side, and the parts that are dark on the back side. So kind of just a little bit of my thought process there. I did leave in the coloring. I know you guys often like to see that kind of thing, and so I did leave it in. I've just sped it up a little bit so we're not sitting here all day watching coloring. And I have a snoring dog here again today. No matter what I do, they have to be with me. And the one, well, both of them snore, but the one really snores a lot. So if you're hearing snoring in the background, that's just some mood music for our Handmade Holiday this year, I guess. I really think for the most part, these kitties really lend themselves well to black and white kitties. Definitely does not have to be. That's kind of the direction I went. I will tell you, I didn't do a lot of the extra type of embellishments that you could definitely do if you would maybe be doing a spinner card or something like that. So this is a large 6x8 stamp set. There's a big Mary Catmas that has coordinating dies. They're outline sentiments, so those would be fun to color. There's a tree, there's additional presents, there's ice skates, the front and the back of the ice skates. So yes, the little ice skater with the earmuffs and the scarf, the kitty I'm coloring now, he would be darling, or he or she would be really cute with ice skates. I didn't add them because it's an extra step, and these are tags. While I do hope that maybe they extend their life past this one season, I just felt like it was an unnecessary step for this particular project. If I was doing something a little more elaborate, probably would have added those. When I use these for a card, definitely going to add them because they are cute. Then there's all kinds of fun, punny type of holiday sentiments, which you're going to see me add to the snow globes here in a little bit when we get to that part of the assembly and the tag creation. There's some snowflakes in here. So 3 kitties, front and back. I used all 3. I figured, heck, why not? I had all of the stuff out, so let's make 3 of these tags. And like I said, this is this year's spinner. I've got some reindeer spinners and some, I believe, sheep spinners. The reindeer were the original. Those are both Mama Elephant. And so I will be linking to those if you want to see some additional ideas to make spinner tags, because they are super duper fun. And then my big idea this year was, these are not small images. They're not super huge, but they're not teeny tiny. So because they're substantial, I needed something that was going to fit them and still be able to spin. The Mama Elephant images are a little bit smaller, and so I was able to fit those more on like a shipping tag that I die cut a circle out of the center. And I really kind of went back and forth what would be the best way to showcase these images. And ultimately, I opted to do a big tag, and not just any big tag, but we're going to use the Mama Elephant Magic Iris Snow Globe add-on. That's a bunch of words. It's basically a snow globe shaped die cut made to work with their Magic Iris that we are going to make into a tag. So it die cuts a circle opening. It's not big enough, and I will be showing you here in just a little bit when we're done coloring how we can alter that to still make it work. I love this because I think it instantly adds so much interest to a gift tag. Big fan of shaped gift tags. In fact, both of my projects that I've shared so far this year are shaped gift tags. Don't worry, I've got some standard size tags coming up soon, so do stay tuned for that. We almost have our second set of kitties colored. Had a little trouble with the tummy on this kitty, so bear with me. I colored it light, didn't like it. Colored it dark, didn't like it. Went back over it with a little bit lighter marker to kind of push and shove some of that darker ink out, and ended up thinking that doesn't look too bad. Sticking to a very basic color theme, or very traditional color theme for any accessories today. And that's because I know I've mentioned this before in my videos, but when I'm creating projects, I am always very aware of the fact that I want to actually use these. And because my wrapping paper is all black and red and white, that is what I tend to gravitate towards as far as decorating images. You could match these to whatever you are wrapping. So another great thing is the little spinner there with the earmuffs and the scarf or whatever. You can change those colors up so easily. Maybe you do blues. Blues and silvers would be beautiful. Maybe you do more green and natural colors. I absolutely love that color combination for Christmas as well. I've just invested so much into the red and white theme that I'm not real eager to switch it up. So but I do love the green and kind of natural type of theme out there. But whatever you decorate with, and maybe you do rainbow, so the sky is the limit, and you can definitely pull in way more color that way. If you guys want to see me create some spinner cards with these images, do let me know. I will do my best to get them done here ASAP. No promises, just because Christmas is coming. It's coming soon. And I know you're starting to see other things from other companies. This is my last minute Handmade Holiday Series, which is last minute. But if you do want to see some spinner cards, I will try to get those out before the holiday. So definitely let me know. Spinner cards are very, very fun to make. And then I did do rainbow lights around this sky. The minimal rainbow here still, I feel like, ties into my tag because the snow globe is going to be pretty neutral. And so not a whole lot is taken away from the theme, I guess you want to call it. And the kitty is black and white. I just couldn't do those lights without doing a rainbow. I don't know about you guys, but these lights to me just scream rainbow lights. And then he's got antlers on, which I think is so funny. And that's a little E55 and E57. Now this is where I'm coloring the back of the kitty, and I started coloring one of the lights wrong. I was able to fix it pretty easily. I just colored over it. I didn't restamp it or anything, but I had to be a lot more aware with coloring this image in particular because there is so much different colors used that I really needed to pay attention. And I just started coloring. I didn't even think about it until I put that color down on the first light or first couple light bulbs. And then I was like, oh, wait just a second. And isn't that star on the tip of his tail hilarious? I think that's cute too. So that little light sticking out the side, I started to color yellow. I instantly switched to blue. Luckily it was yellow and I was able to color over it. And now I'm paying attention. So anything hanging off the sides, I'm going to color first. Anything back behind the cat, I can color anything I want. Now there are coordinating dies. I know at the beginning of the video I was talking about that for literally everything in this set. So any image you use from that, there is a coordinating die for, and of course the front and the back of these kitties, which are going to go together perfectly. Here is my snow globe die. This is from Lawn Fawn, and after I die cut it from some Simon Says Stamp Fog cardstock, I cut two, a front and a back. We also are going to take this great little snowflake detail that you can use or you don't have to, and we're going to add detail to the bottom of our snow globe. It does come with this set. And I did take a circle STACKABLES circle die from Lawn Fawn that was barely bigger than the feline images I'm using. And I'm going to go ahead and then die cut those from the center to make the circle in the center of my snow globe bigger. So that's how I'm going to make it big enough for the kitties without ruining the integrity of the design. I did have a few little smudges from my post-it tape I noticed, like some gunk got on my dies, so I'm just going to kind of erase that away with a sand eraser really quick. And then these are going to go back to back, and that's how we will assemble them. So let's go ahead and add the rest of the detail to both sides. We're going to start with the kitty holding the present, and I'm going to put some adhesive up at the top and the bottom. And then I have a thin piece of silver embroidery floss. It's a specialty embroidery floss that I got for a cross-stitching project of some sort at some time. But I just need a teeny tiny little bit, and we're going to put some strong adhesive on one side of the cat, and then we're going to put the other side on. And you can use adhesive, or I often, and I didn't do it on this first one, but I put liquid adhesive on the other side before sandwiching it, just to hold it together really well. I want to make sure it's as straight as possible, and this first one gave me a little bit of fits till I got to doing a few more of them. So we've sandwiched our string between the two parts of the front and the back of the cat. Then we want to pull that embroidery floss or thread or fishing line, whatever you use, nice and taut between the top and the bottom. I'm sticking it in that adhesive. And that's not going to be the only thing that holds this kitty in place. It's how I get started so that it holds it down. You can see I've been fiddling with it quite a bit. I want to get it as centered as possible, and I'm sorry I'm so low on the screen here. And then I'm going to cover it with some double-sided adhesive just as an extra layer of security so I don't have to worry about it coming loose. And in fact, even after I pull up this double-sided adhesive, I put a little dab of liquid glue somewhere on that string that's hidden just to hold it in place, because nothing would be worse than it falling apart. We're going to completely cover then the back of one of the sides of the snow globes with adhesive. We're going to peel off this backing paper, and we will sandwich this together. I will tell you, I had to kind of very carefully with some undo pull these apart because I need to put some sort of a tag topper in here. And I do not want to punch a hole through the top of the snow globe because that will punch through the string and the security and maybe make it fall apart. So I thought it would be good to mention this here just to give you an idea that if you've made it this far, please, please, please don't punch a hole in the top of the design. You could run the risk of everything coming apart. If you're just going to tape it to your card, that's fine. But if you're going to want to make a tag, I'm going to show you how I get around that and how I fix the problem. I'm going to glue the rest of the snow globe pieces together since this is kind of how I did it. And I want to make sure that I'm showing you kind of my thought process throughout this. And I see that I accidentally put the opposite, the big one on the top and the small one on the bottom. Let's fix that before that glue dries. So the only difference in color here is we're just adding those little red die cut strips around the bottom of the snow globe. I was anxious to put one together, and so I did, but we're just going to set that aside for a second, and we need to work on stamping our sentiments that go around the edge. Now, I contemplated maybe doing a whole separate tag, or maybe not adding anything at all, but the sentiments and the phrases in this stamp set are so funny. So I actually used Wishing You a Fun-Filled Catmas. It's feline, a lot like Catmas, and meowy Catmas. I did 3 different sentiments. I really wanted to showcase all of them. You could definitely pick one. Line it up in your MISTI because it is a little bit of work. You can see here I'm curving it to go along the curved edge of the opening. You could do one and stamp it on multiple snow globes, and that would save a load of time. I'm stamping it with a clear embossing ink and heat embossing with some Gina K Red Hot embossing powder. However, again, another big time saver here would be to stamp with just a basic black or red ink and not do the embossing because it would save quite a bit of time. Because I'm having to wipe away any little stray embossing powder flakes and all of that good stuff. And I noticed a couple areas that did not stamp really well, so I went in with my Versa Mark pen and added that in. We're going to heat emboss. And not only are we going to do this on the front of the tags, but on the back, we're going to do a to and a from. These are gift tags, and so I want to make sure I add something that lets the recipient know, who it's from. So we'll show you that right after we get the front of our tags all stamped. Let's go ahead and grab our next one. I noticed another little schmutzy thing there. We're just going to get rid of that. And then I'm going to clean my stamps really good And like I said, I switched my sentiment, but if you want to stamp all the same sentiment, you wouldn't even have to clean it. All you have to do is pop each snow globe in place and go ahead and stamp and emboss or just stamp that sentiment. So I really messed around with this a lot. This was the easiest, the Meowie Catmas, because it wasn't near as long, so it was a little bit easier to do. I think this sentiment is a really fun addition to these tags though, and I'm glad I added it because the snow globe is really pretty basic. There's not a ton to it. I will add a little embellishing as we get closer to finishing up the spinner tags, but I purposely kept the focus on the spinning cat. So you might notice those red ornament tags. Those are from a Lawn Fawn die set. Any tag that has a topper like this is going to work. You just want that tag hole reinforcer type of top. And we're going to sandwich it between the two layers of the snow globe as our tag hanger, which I'll show here in just a second. On the back of each tag, I did line up to and from. These are from the Simon Says Stamp Joy for You stamp set, which is a brand new stamp set this year from Simon Says Stamp. And we're just simply stamping that on the back of each snow globe. So that gives us a great little place to write who the gift is for and who it's from. And I am sure that my daughter is going to, she loves to wrap presents. So do I, but she really loves it. In the last few years, I've really given her free rein to wrap most everybody's but her presents. And she loves doing it, and she loves having these tags. So now that I have quite a nice selection of tags, she's very, very happy because she grabs all of the cutest ones first. Okay, and then the one that I did already put together, you'll notice I did sandwich that tag topper off camera. I will show you the assembly for the other two on camera here in just a second. I did need to add the to and the from. I'd forgotten, so we'll go ahead and do that. And you might notice the holographic paper in the snow globe highlight. I did die cut that, just a little portion of the snow globe. I didn't do the whole thing. I just kind of laid it on the edge of the cardstock or near an edge of the cardstock so I could just get those pieces for the front and the back, which finishes off the snow globe perfectly. Okay, let's put one together with all of the correct steps now that I've done one. We're going to put adhesive on one side of our cat. We're going to take that embroidery floss and sandwich it in between the two layers. I am going to put some liquid adhesive on this. Sandwich that, and then we're going to adhere it in the center of our snow globe cutout, making sure to keep the embroidery floss nice and taut so that the feline will spin perfectly. I just want to make sure it's not going to hit as it spins. Then we're going to secure over the top of the top and the bottom with a little double-sided tape. We will snip the ends to shorten them because we don't need those hanging out the top or the bottom. I don't like to snip those until I get it where I want it to go in case any adjustments need to be made. It's one of the last things I do before adhering the front and the back of the snow globes back to back. Then we're going to just trim down, or trim out really, the topper for our tag. So you can see I just use scissors to basically cut that away, and then we're going to glue it with liquid adhesive right there at the top, so just the little part with the hole is coming out of the top, making the snow globe into a tag. It is one extra little step that's so worth it. You don't have any, and that's why I said any shaped tag like this or any little tag with a topper will do, because you're not really using the shape, you're just needing that top part. And it needs to have a little bit that goes down so that you can sandwich it between the two layers and hold it in place. So I added liquid glue to make it strong. I'm using some tweezers. And then I'm working on adding embellishments to my snow globe. So of course we've got the top and the bottom die cut pieces. And I added little bits of glue to the center of my snowflakes because we're going to put some little clay white snowflakes down here, every other one, and some little black hearts. And again, you can change that to any color combination that matches your wrapping. And we're going to do it on the front and the back so that the back is just as pretty as the front. We'll wait till that dries a little bit, so I'll go ahead and assemble my other tag before adding the rest of those embellishments. Let's go ahead and put some adhesive down on the back of our snow globe. Let's put some adhesive on our kitty, add our embroidery floss, glue these back to back, and then place it in the center of the snow globe, making sure it's nice and taut. I'm going to put my tweezers on this for just a minute too to make sure that it's nice and pinched together. Then we're going to secure the top and the bottom with some double-sided tape. Add a little liquid glue. And we also need to trim that last tag topper from the die cut tag to sandwich in between the two layers. Using the tip of your Spellbinders tool-in-one is one of my best tips for removing backing paper without getting your fingers in the adhesive. And then of course we're going to take the other side of the tag, put some nice strong adhesive all the way around, and adhere it in place. I'm not worried about those little highlight areas because remember we're going to inlay some holographic paper on those so that it looks nice and shiny. And I am going to fix that little piece that ripped up with a little glue underneath and just smooth it down. I added black jelly roll pin to the eyes on my kitties because it makes such a huge difference. I do this when card making as well because faces make the design. Let's add some quick little bits of glue and embellish the bottom of our snow globe with our remaining die cuts and clay snowflakes and hearts. I really like how these little clay pieces add some dimension as well as interest to the bottom of each snow globe. If you wanted to, you could always die cut or partial die cut the snow globe again, trim off that bottom piece and do that out of a contrasting color. And I think that would be really cute as well if you want the bottom of your snow globe to be a little bit more colorful and have something else going on there. There's the little holographic highlights. We're going to flip our tag over and adhere the rest of these pieces. It's all coming together. Spinner tags are probably, as I mentioned earlier, they have been one of my most popular projects, especially in this series or just at the holidays. But they're one of my personal favorite projects as well. I think they are fun to make, unique, and can be used as an ornament, maybe on your tree if you wanted to after the gift has been given. So definitely a very, very fun project. clean up all of these little bits and pieces, and then I've already trimmed some lawn trimmings twine. This is the black lawn trimmings twine that I'm going to thread through the top of each tag and knot to finish off my tags. You could also add maybe something additional to this if you wanted to. You could always add a little mini tag. You could add some bells, lots of things, maybe ribbon to the top of this, and then thread through your twine. I'm going to twist up my kitty about 10 times and let it go. Let's do that for another one because I think this is the magical part of these. It's so much fun to watch them spin around. And of course, just like a little kid, I had to do all of them because, again, it's so much fun. And there are my feline spinner tags. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this Handmade Holiday 2020 spinner tag project. The supplies I used to create my tags are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here is another video featuring a handmade holiday project you might be interested in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to never miss a new card making or paper crafting video. Thanks for joining me, happy holidays, and we'll see you next time.